Can everybody take their seats, please? I'd like to call this Thursday, May 12, 2016 meeting of the Livingston County Board to order. We were supposed to have a gentleman for invocation tonight. I do not see him, so if you would bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight. We ask that you watch over and lead us and guide us in all that we do. We pray that you would give us the strength to make the decisions we need to make. All this we ask and pray in your precious holy name.
Amen.
Okay. Pledge of Allegiance by Stan Weber.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Arbogast. Here.
Bunny.
Here.
Gimbel.
Here.
Carly.
Here.
Weller.
Here.
Runyon.
Here.
Mays. Holt.
Here.
Weber. Vietti.
Yes.
Heath. Yoder.
Here.
Coleman.
Present.
Steichen. Schaefer.
Here.
Ingalls. Young.
Here.
Ritter. Gerwin. Flock.
Here.
Allen.
Here.
Fannin.
Here.
Kestner. Peterson.
We have a quorum. Approval of the agenda. Everyone has an agenda in front of you. I would like to remove the Streeter resolution from the Finance Committee's docket for tonight. With that change, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Schaefer, second by Ingalls. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. The meeting minutes, everyone's seen them. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Motion by Young, second by Coleman. Discussion?
Mr. Chairman, there are a couple of grammatical errors I found in there where it ran some words together. I'm going to change and make those, but other than that.
Okay. With the grammatical changes, I would,
Oh, also on the March ones is for two sets of minutes, the April ones and the March, because when I was going to put them in the book, I was looking through it and I had left off the actual roll call for the, I think it was the public health report.
okay, so this is for March and April.
Yes.
Okay. With those designations, I entertain,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
with those changes, I would make a motion we approve both.
Thank you. Motion by Holt, second by Coleman. All those in favor? All those against? Motion carries. Presentations. Tonight we have the Mental Health 2015 Annual Report. There she is.
Hello, my name is Chris Myers, and I'm the new Executive Director at the Livingston County Mental Health Board as of July 1st, 2015. Good evening, Chairman Fannin and County Board members. I am very honored to be here tonight to report to you on both the 708 and the 377 annual report, which is for December 1st of 2014 to November 30th of 2015. We are one of 81 community 708 or 377 boards across the state. And whether those are under a county board or whether they're under township, there are 81 of them across the state. Between our two levies, both 377 and 708, we receive almost $1.4 million in the tax levies, with over $1 million of that is given out to the providers in our county. That is all given out to the providers through purchase of service, not through grants, but purchase of service. They must be accountable for every dollar that they spend. When I started in July, we started doing monitoring of all of the agencies. So they are monitored at least once a year. We do a cross-check, a sampling of a billing, and just cross-checking the services that are offered with the clients that are served. For fiscal year 2014-15, our wonderful providers that we have in our county, which include IHR, Futures Unlimited, ADV SAS, which is a domestic violence sexual assault, Mosaic, and Futures Unlimited, served over 6,000 individuals across our county, whether they had mental illness, substance abuse, or developmental disabilities. May is considered Mental Health Awareness Month. And did you know 1 in every 5 people will be affected by mental illness in our lifetime? Our goal as Livingston County's Mental Health Authority is to be fiscally responsible with the funds that are turned over to us and to assure that the quality, effectiveness, and availability of mental health, substance abuse, and developmental disability services to all of our citizens that are in need of any of these services. Thank you again for your support. Is there any questions?
Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Would anyone like an extra copy or anything?
We appreciate the hard work that goes into what you do.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Do you need a motion to approve that?
Yes, sir.
I also move.
Motion by Flat, second by Holman. You're busy tonight. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Arbogast. Yes. Bunning. Yes. Kimball.
Yes.
Carly. Yes. Weller.
Yes.
Runyon.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Weber. Vieti.
Yes.
Heath.
Yes.
Yoder. Yes. Coleman. Yes. Steichen. Schaefer.
Yes.
Ingalls.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Ritter. Gerwin. Flock.
Yes.
Allen. Yes. Fannin.
Yes.
Kestner. Peterson.
Okay. Moving down to the consent agenda. Approval of bills and appointments. Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Arbogast, second by Holman. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Arbogast. Yes. Bunning. Yes. Carly, or Gimbal, I mean.
Yes.
Sorry. Carly. Weller.
Yes.
Runyon.
Yes.
Mays. Holt.
Yes.
Weber. Vieti.
Yes.
Heath.
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Coleman. Yes. Schaefer.
Yes.
Ingalls.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Gerwin. Flock. Allen. Yes. Fannin.
Yes.
Kestner. Peterson.
Okay, moving down to the action agenda. Committee reports, Highway Committee, Darrell Holt, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Highway Committee asked both Trent and Clay to be here. Trent is our new Assistant County Engineer. They've been busy doing some bridge inspections along with their other duties.
Hello. Take some time here to introduce Trent. Trent Russman, our new Assistant County Engineer for the Highway Department. Trent graduated from Bradley University with a degree in civil engineering and comes from the Minonk area. He's been working the past 5 years with Farnsworth Group in either the Bloomington or Peoria office. Since he started working for us on April 11, Trent has already undertaken the permitting process for overweight, overwidth permits, updated our bridge status map, found ways to link extremely useful bridge information to our aerial photography, completed drainage studies, and reviewed IDOT timber pile repair designs, as well as develop alternate details to those designs. And most importantly, he's taken over when I'm not there. Please welcome Trent Russman to the So our agenda tonight, you have two items. One is the agreement for engineering services for the bridge that we have closed currently west of campus. This is with HLR. It has a not to exceed cost for the basic services of $21,000. The other item on the agenda is a CAB resolution or county aid bridge resolution for $35,000. This is for culvert replacements at various locations. A good part of this is made up of one location. As part of our travels, Trent and I did find a set of galvanized pipes that were pretty large that needed to be replaced because the bottoms were rotting out on them. On one of them more so than the other, but in need of replacement. It's going to require 3 new pipes, and we have over $10,000 in the cost of the pipes alone, as well as a patch and some other miscellaneous work there. So the additional amount is for the various locations that are going to come up throughout the year. Many times we use motor fuel tax to do these pipes with, but the appropriation for motor fuel tax was held down this year because of the ongoing budget constraints with IDOT and the likelihood of MFT being, the payments being withheld again starting in July with the still unsettled budget. So that was the reasoning behind appropriating the $35,000 for culvert replacements.
My motion would be that we approve these two items.
Motion by Holt. Second by Runyon. Carolyn?
I didn't see the actual resolution in the packet. Did I miss it? Or page 12? Does it basically just say, is it at the end of the, I didn't print out the whole thing. Gone. My main question was whether the state's attorney had reviewed the agreement or some similar agreement.
Typically, these are right in line with what IDOT uses as a boilerplate downloaded form that the consultants will use. There's some minor alterations or, I don't want to say alterations, there's selections within the agreement, and you'll see that under the engineer agrees on page 2, or if you're looking at the bottom right, it's page 3. But you can choose those items that you wish to include as part of the agreement. This is very standard to what we have passed for several years. The language updates periodically throughout that form, but no, it has not been reviewed by the state's attorney's office. The only other change in this is going to be the hourly rates for the design engineer.
So no changes to the form are even, other than what you just said, are even possible. They're just dictated by the state or the.
They are possible to make changes to them. We do try to review that and make sure that that hasn't happened as we go and receive them. The main thing is making sure that the items that you're looking for as part of the design is within that agreement provisions. That is the standard language. The basic services, sometimes those can include or not include the soil borings and some of the plat work, but right-of-way and soil borings and section line establishment is typically on almost every engineering agreement cost-plus item. So those are the only things that get separated but are still within the agreement and stipulated. under the LA agrees on sheets 3 and 4 of the agreement, be done at cost plus. So some minor revisions can be done, yes, but they, almost all of them are within this 5 to 6 page agreement.
Clay, as I understood it, they're also doing like a watershed study to determine the size of the,
Yes. And as part of that, they do a survey to establish for the plan profile and the rest of the plans.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
And this is both items with one roll
Yes.
call.
Arbogast.
Yes.
Bunning.
Yes.
Kimball.
Yes.
Carly. Weller.
Yes.
Runyon.
Yes.
Mays. Holt.
yes.
Weber. Piety.
Yes.
Heath.
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Coleman. Schaefer.
Yes.
Ingalls. Young.
Yes.
Gerwin.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Bannon.
Yes.
Kestner. Peterson.
Thank you, Clay. Thank you, Trent. That would be all my report.
Okay, thank you. Personnel Committee, Kathy Arbogast, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have an action item tonight, a resolution amending personnel policies, equity adjustment for exempt employees. An equity increase is a permanent increase to the base salary that may be granted to an employee under certain circumstances, such as increased duties do not warrant reclassification or a significant salary lag to comparable internal positions or the local labor market. It shall not exceed 25% of base pay, and it must be approved by the Finance Committee.
And the whole reason that we went here was because when we hire someone, we have a range at which we can hire them. We can go up to mid-range in that particular range when we hire them. And normally, when you hire somebody, you don't know what you're getting. So we have a tendency to go on the low side. And it works two ways. Either the person is okay and is doing things as they should, and it can be status quo, or in that probationary period, it could be somebody that's not doing the job and ends up losing the job. Or you could have somebody that comes in and just does such a fantastic job, you can't believe you got this person for the price that you got them. This gives us the ability to go back and say, okay, when we hired them, we had the ability to go to mid-range, and we have the ability to reflect that in their probationary period. At the end of their probationary period, we do a evaluation, and in that evaluation, it would dictate that we could raise that salary. That was the basis behind this resolution.
So I entertain a motion. I entertain a motion. Okay, I make the motion.
Motion by
Second.
Arbogast,
Second by Mike.
second by Ingalls. Discussion? Carolyn?
I just had a suggestion that in the resolution where it has the language to be included in the manual. I think this was the intent of the committee, but just to confirm, that last line, examples of situations, I wonder if it could read examples of situations which may permit but shall not require a salary equity adjustment include. In other words, to make it clear in the manual that it's not to be expected necessarily or required. It is totally within the judgment and discretion of the county. Was that the intent?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
my thought was that this should be accompanied by whatever documentation is needed can be provided to either increase this person's pay or decrease their pay. So there should be like, if you're going to increase their pay, there should be like an evaluation, or if there's,
That's what it would be based on.
right. So I think that it should be, there should be documentation with it that justifies the change.
There would,
It's not a, you can decide you want to do it or you not want to do it.
no, it's based on an
You
evaluation.
have to do it.
Right. It's based on an evaluation done at the end of the probation.
Right.
Any other discussion?
Was the impetus for this revision caused by, was it due to a single employee, a specific employee? I didn't ask who, just yes or no.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Can I make a motion to amend the resolution?
Of course, I didn't bring up my book.
Carolyn, when you look at it, if you read it correctly, it says examples of situations which may indicate a salary inequity. So where you're suggesting that revision, it's not gonna sound right. These are the items that would put you in the situation where you will review, but we can add language about that it would permit but not require. That's fine, but I think that where you've added it is probably not the right spot
Ideal.
for it.
Well, we could add, I'd actually considered adding a sentence at the end, just before the now therefore be it resolved. So that would be added to that last paragraph in quotes. It would just say, this section is not intended to mandate any such adjustment. Or you could say not intended to require such an adjustment, or does not require such an adjustment. So you could add a sentence there to do that. Does that look better to you?
Let me see. Is that overkill?
I just don't want employees to think they're entitled to.
Does anybody else read it that way, that this is an entitlement? It would be felt as an entitlement?
On the very first sentence, it says, an equity increase is a permanent increase to the base salary that may be granted to an employee under certain circumstances. So it's not a given that everyone is entitled to this.
Motion to amend the language.
Well, if there's not support, at least we have is it true that that was the committee's intent, that it not be mandatory?
That is the intent,
And then
on the record.
it'll be up to our managers to clarify for employees who might think otherwise.
And
This is only for your
exempt.
This is not for all employees. And so it will be basically a committee of the board with the chairman, someone who's bringing it to the finance committee.
Right. Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Arbogast.
Yes.
Bunning. Gimbel.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Runyon.
Yes.
Mays. Holt.
Yes.
Weber. Beatty.
Yes.
Peak.
Yes.
Yoder.
No.
Holman.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Ingalls.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Ritter. Oops. Gerwin. Flock.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Kestner. Peterson.
Okay, and just for FYI, there is going to be a IMRF workshop being held here in the boardroom on May 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. And we currently have 41 employees signed up for that.
Good.
And that ends my report.
Okay, thank you. Agricultural and Zoning Committee, Bill Flott, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have an action item, the WEX ordinance changes. We've had lots of public input in regard to this. We've had many meetings. We've used reams and reams of paper. Chuck and Seth and Tom, would you come to the mic? I'll just make some very quick comments about it. Some of the high points. It includes a hearing facilitator. The idea of that is to shorten the hearing process for WEX. This would be a person that could help us with that. We've cleared up the language, improved the language on financial assurance and financial capability. The setbacks for wind towers increased by 33% from 1,200 feet to 1,600 feet. And the sound level, some of the land around 150 feet from the center of the residence is also considered in the sound area. So that's a little more restrictive. This whole ordinance that we worked on is predicated on a county-wide non-binding referendum designed to give the board info about what areas the county wish to have this ordinance and what areas wish to have a more restrictive ordinance. With that, I guess I'll start. I'll make the rather lengthy motion that was written for me here. I move to authorize the Livingston County Board to instruct the Livingston County Zoning Board of Appeals to prepare notice, conduct a hearing, and report to the Livingston County Board regarding amendments to Chapter 56, Zoning Article 8, Wind Energy, of the Livingston County Code of Ordinances as proposed in the draft Wind Energy text amendment document. And with that, I think there's some tweaks that we still need to make, and I would add that on the end of there with some tweaks allowed by the state's attorney's office.
Okay,
With
motion
that,
by,
we'll take questions.
motion by Flott, second by Young. Discussion?
May I just clarify, so by saying yes to this, we're saying we're moving it along?
To the
We're not
ZBA.
saying this is great, I want it hook, line, and sinker, we're saying this goes to the next step.
Goes to the ZBA. We know that we don't know, but we assume there'll be some changes that the ZBA makes.
ZBA will review it, they can make recommendations as to changes, and they will make a final recommendation, which will come back to the Ag and Zoning Committee for review, or come back to the board for one more time. So it's gonna be vetted 3 more times.
Right.
And as I said the other night, this is not a finished document. It anticipates that there's going to be some more changes. We have some open areas that need more exploration, et cetera.
Can I,
Moves it to the next process. Carolyn?
There was a mention of tweaks. Are you in a position to tell us what the tweaks are?
I think what he meant by the tweaks was any changes that might come out of ZBA.
Mr. Runyon?
yeah, Bill said this, but I just want to make sure, this is all predicated on the fact that we are moving forward with the referendum.
Correct.
Because short of that, that would change my vote on this. So I just want to make sure that we are understanding that we are, at this point anyway, planning on moving forward with the referendum, and that's that's kind of part of this.
Correct.
That's what we're assuming, but we haven't voted on that yet.
But again, we were at the city of night, not only do we go forward with the referendum, but the referendum may result in necessity to amend the ordinance again. And if you choose to consider amending, you'll want to get some more forms about the amendment process.
Right. Mr. Kestner? Okay. Tim?
On section 56-613, when we just talked, we'll begin at the beginning, the purpose. 1 and 2, are we, and I guess that we already have, and that's where But given that this has been something of such substantial controversy, are we united as a board in saying indeed we do want to promote the supply of wind energy in support of a goal of increasing production from renewable energy sources, outlining wind energy as a specific source, because it's obviously been a tremendous source of questions, not only its efficacy, but presence. So I throw that out there.
That topic wasn't touched on by the committee, and so there weren't any proposed changes. This is the original language. That's something
Right,
that-
that's what that's right.
That's something that I'm sure could be raised to the ZBA.
I did see that.
Oh, okay. Well, great minds think alike. I think.
Mr. Young?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. A lot of us have been in on this. A lot of people out here in the audience have greatly participated, either by attending every meeting verbally or with their written comments. A lot of time was spent on this document. I don't think anybody is 100% in favor of it. I'm sure they're not. There's some people that would like, different language in it. And it was, Bill Flott said a long time ago when we started that not everybody will agree on everything, and we haven't. But it is a document that's put a lot of sweat has gone into it, a lot of discussion, and I think a lot of give and take on both sides. So is it perfect? No. But I think it's hopefully the best agreement that we can come up with right now for the citizens, all the citizens of Livingston County, for those who want a little more protection from wind energy concerns, and also for those people who still desire to possibly have wind farms in their community. We're a big county, so we've got to have a lot of different ideas. So I hope this is a place that'll get us started. ZBA will look at it, and we'll get to vote on it again. So thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Arbogast.
Yes.
Bunning. Kimball.
Yes.
Carly. Weller.
Yes.
Runyon.
Yes.
Mays. Holt.
Yes.
Weber. Beatty.
Yes.
Heath.
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yep.
Engel.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Gerwin.
Yes.
Flott.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Bannon.
Yes.
Hessner. Peterson.
Only one other thing to report. The city of Streeter is now part of dispatching out of Livcom. The changeover to bring them on board went reasonably smooth. So they're now part of our Livcom, and hopefully that helps the bottom line of Livcom. I'd like to thank the people that worked on this ordinance for a long time. The ad hoc committee, they attended lots of meetings, did lots of thinking. Marty and Alina and Chuck and our attorneys all spent a lot of time working on this. Thanks to those people.
Thank you, Bill. Moving down to Finance Committee, Tim Schaefer, Chair.
Mr. Chairman, all we have to report is starting budget season, and obviously all those assembled for those purposes will no doubt be determined to bring the deficit down even more from last year. So we'll say that at the outset, all interested parties are invited to attend. Those are always spirited meetings, and we'll enjoy ourselves and get that done.
Thank you very much, Tim. Appreciate it. Sheriff General License Committee, John Yoder, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one action item, which is the approval of a liquor license for CIV South Streeter. Christie is here if you have any questions.
At the committee meeting, there was one item in there, a date that was needed, and Jay Patel, who was the owner of the establishment, did call me today with that, so I do have that date, and that was the only outstanding thing that left to be filled in on it, so.
Great.
I make a motion to approve that.
Okay, motion by Yoder, second by Kestner. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Had my papers out of order. Arbogast.
Yes.
Bunning. Gimbel. Carly.
Yes.
Weller. Runyon.
Yes.
Mays. Holt.
Yes.
Weber. Vietti.
Yes.
Key.
Yes.
Yoder.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Ingalls. Young. Gerwin. Plot.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Kestner. Peterson.
That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yoder. Moving down to Public Property Committee, Mike Ingles, Chair.
No action items, but just a quick update on the problem with the cooling towers at the Law and Justice Center. I think we previously reported that due to lack of proper treatment of the water, what they refer to as the fill material, which is really the guts of the two cooling towers, had become so coated with calcium, they were insulated, horribly inefficient, causing them to be run at a much higher level than designed, causing noise problems that we've all heard a lot about. Attempts to clean them were not successful, and so they're wrapping up replacement of that, and all indications are this may go a long way to solve the noise issues. We also have a large number of isolation valves in that same building. Again, unfortunately, due to preventative maintenance exercising the valves, they're all having to be removed one at a time and completely rebuilt. So as Chad gets through these problems, he's also looking forward to establishing documented routines for preventative maintenance so that these extraordinary expenses are a thing of the past. With that, that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mike. Mr. Yoder?
You said that replacing these may go a long way to possibly solving a noise issue. This is just a question. I assume when they were put in, they were new, and we had the noise issue from the beginning. So how is this going to?
Well, it's a culmination of the change in the way that the cooling towers are run, along with the fact that the fill has been changed. It's not just the one thing that makes that, it's the culmination of some of the things that have been done that are helping to hopefully solve that problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Down to Election Rules and Legislation Committee, Jack Vietti, Chair.
Thank you, Chairman. We had a bunch of reappointments at our last meeting, and also some appointments. We had Marvin Wood for the Flanagan-Graymont Fire Protection District, a reappointment. Also reappointment Dean Wilhelm for the Long Point Fire Protection District. Reappointment of Mike Lance for the Eastern Indiana Creek Draining District. Appointment of Todd Cashman to the Reading Community Fire Protection District. We had two appointments to the Zoning Board of Appeal, William Gerber and Connie Casey. Reappointments for Lynn Denardi for the Livingston County Housing Authority, and the reappointment of Dennis Winger for the Fairbury Rural Fire Protection District. And also, Chairman reported that one of the Zoning Board of Appeal appointments was to replace Gib Nielsen, who was our chairman. He has resigned, so he's also spoken to Joan Huseman about taking over the chairmanship. Should she accept, he will recommend she be appointed as chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeal. And that's my report.
Thank you, Jack. Information and Technology Committee, Vicki Allen, Chair.
The IT committee met and we reviewed the monthly department report supplied by our computer systems administrator, John Sear. He reported that the many issues with Spillman have been resolved and only minor issues remain. And the new cameras have been installed at the jail, and he's now working on getting those configured. He also interviewed an individual for the summer intern position, and we reviewed and approved the bills that were presented. That ends my report.
Thank you, Vicki. Veterans Assistance Committee. Mr. Kestner, could you give
The Veterans Committee met, we paid some bills and discussed with Mr. Bailey our desire to start discussing his new budget, which the county will approve later. And that intergovernmental agreement that the state's attorney recommends the Veterans Commission have with the county has been put on hold. The state's attorney hasn't returned his opinion on that. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kestner. The Administrative Committee did not meet, so I do not have a report. Livingston County Housing Authority, report by Kelly Coleman.
We have not met since I last reported on the Housing Authority. We actually meet next Wednesday, May 18th at 1 p.m. here in Pontiac at 903 West North Street. The public is always encouraged to attend. That concludes my report.
Okay. Recreation Committee, Joe's not here tonight. Alina, would you like to speak on what happened in the Recreation Committee?
The Recreation Committee is currently working on another grant application that will be submitted through the Illinois Department of Transportation. It is an 80-20 grant that has the possibility of covering the full amount of there's no cap to it, so it could cover a full 80% of the entire project. The Recreation Committee is also working on adding recreation items to the GLC EDC Live Livingston website that was created recently, and that would include an interactive map that outlines all the recreational items throughout the county.
Thank you. I know you appreciate being put on the spot like that. All right, we're down to public comment. Okay. Motion by Mr. Vietti to adjourn, second by Mr. Young. Any other discussion? Vietti? Young? All those in favor? Yep.